Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going to the Final Fantasy VI Kefka series boss battle and trying to get all the missions, including the 15 turn clear. We're going to grab a properly built fundamental, and this is the team we're going to be going with. Pretty sure it can get a 15 turn clear, so we're going to try it. Let's give it a go. I've spent a few attempts trying to optimize my turn chart. It's probably not the best turn chart that I've worked out, but I think it's going to work. I got really close last time with a small change. I think we're going to get it. So let's go ahead and just kill these normal guys or these statues on turn 1. So Melissa will do Human Killer, Minutes of Might, and then whatever. Jill will imbue the party, Field, and then AoE 100 Amplify. And Zahn will Ice Imperil Field, break defense, and then literally who cares. And these first statues are relatively simple to OTK if your party's pretty strong. And they also don't count towards your turn count, by the way. So you could spend longer if you want to, it doesn't matter. You have a full 15 turns on the final boss of Kefka. So just for convenience's sake, we're going to just OTK all these. Although we're going to change it up slightly on the third statue. Okay, so come on. And burst it up. Okay. Now the next one we're going to use Zahn's SLB because we want his SLB to be coordinated with the fundamental forces. So we're going to go ahead and just use it on this fight so that it lines up perfectly with the rest of them. A lot of auto-casting. SLB, do their stuff. And go ahead and kill this one as well. Okay, so now we're going to the final boss. He's definitely really damaging, kind of dangerous, but as long as you do the turns properly, and where you have a permanent omni-cover tank like Wilhelm, there you can definitely manage his stuff. You're going to need re-raise too, though. Okay, so for the ambush, we get set to 1 HP, but we're going to deal with it. So the boss counterattacks the first 2 attacks each turn. So for turn 1, we're just not going to hit him at all. What we're going to do, we're going to use the, what are these called? Fundamental Forces to Glacial, Hercules, and Heavenly. They'll both do the same thing. Glacial, Hercules, and Heavenly. Wilhelm will use his Protect the Weak for the general mitigation, Siege Strategy for the breaks and Spear in Peril, and then Safeguard for the Omni cover. Melissa will Shared Immunity, Human Killer on Zahn, and Curega, because we are very, very hurt. But before we do that, Jill will imbue the party with ice, put up her field, and together for the stat buff. And Melissa will top the party off. Not quite Wilhelm, but, close enough. And then Zahn will do Deadly Daggers, will refresh his Ice and Peril field, and will project that Human Killer around to the rest of the party. Okay, so some hyperdrives will be the issue here. Now, thanks to a tip from Wanderer, we're going to be using Camouflage to mostly make the hyperdrive go on Jill and Wilhelm. I'll show you the gear at the end, but our fundamentals and Melissa should very rarely or never get hit by hyperdrive. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start dealing some damage. So first of all, we're going to overdrive our Wilhelm. Now, the boss, like I said, counterattacks the first 2 attacks per turn. Wilhelm will always omni-cover those, but they also leave a damage over time. We don't want that going anywhere on the party except on Jill, if possible. So Jill will be our sacrificial damage over time person. She'll hit the boss twice to eat the counters and do her AoE 100 amp ice cooldown. And the rest of the party will start bursting the boss. Now on this turn, the boss is going to have a, also make sure Zahn is clicked first for the breaks. The boss is going to do Light of Judgment. It's a really powerful attack that, quite honestly, is going to kill Wilhelm. He'll just re-raise it. So Melissa is now going to do Chronic. We're going to do Kurega. And then just a Bar Darkja to fill the LB gauge a little bit. So the counterattacks first. They go to Jill, get Omni covered by Wilhelm. The damage over time goes on Jill, which gives her guts. Yeah, she's wearing a lot. The whole party is wearing lots of stacks of guts, which is part of our strategy here. So Wilhelm did die in re-raise because of Light of Judgment. That's okay. So the next threshold is at 80%. Well, the first threshold, I should say. And we're going to push that this turn. So Wilhelm will cover. Whoops. Will protect the weak, attrition strategy, and Omni cover yet again. Jill will re-imbue Wilhelm because he did die, and then hit the boss twice to eat the counterattacks. And then the rest of the party will just keep dealing damage. Melissa will triple Bar Darkja to top off LB gauge after we burst. So this should push the boss easily below 80% for the first threshold. Okay, so on the threshold, well, first of all, the boss will counterattack on Jill. Jill's probably going to die to the damage over time. Then the boss will set us to 1 HP. It'll kill Jill because of the 1 HP thing, but the rest of the party should live. And then because no one else has damage over time except maybe Wilhelm, the fundamentals that should get hit with downfall will not die. That's the plan at least, so let's give it a go and see if it happens. So counters against Jill, Omni covered, damage over time, Jill's at 1 HP. It looks like fundamental does have a damage over time, so unfortunately she is probably going to... Oh, it hit the other one. Okay, never mind. No, we're good. We're good. She didn't die. It's unfortunate. Like I said, the camouflage helps. It's not a guarantee, though. Yeah, she's got a damage over time. Oh, well. She didn't die, so it's not a problem. We're going to continue. So Jill will hit the boss twice and then use together to rebuff stats and all that. And then we're going to use Melissa to double Bar Darkja for LB fill, and then Parasol for the AoE re-raise and barrier. And we keep on bursting. Wilhelm can jump in now too. The next threshold is at 60%, which we're not going to push this turn, but that's okay. Normal turns on odd turns are pretty dangerous. On even turns, honestly speaking, are not that bad, except for your sacrificial counter soaker and apparently our fundamental force, who is getting hit really hard by the damage over time. And Wilhelm, because we're not really healing that much except for passive healing. Our Wilhelm does have 100,000 HP, so that percentage passive healing from the Savior's armor is putting in some pretty good work, as you're going to see right here. Yeah, that really does help. Okay, so turn 5, every third turn is a Light of Judgment or a Dancing Mad. Starting on turn 2. You saw it on turn 2. It's going to kill Wilhelm. We don't want him to die anymore, so we're going to go ahead and push another threshold of 60% this turn. So what we're going to do, Jill will hit the boss twice for the counters and then just refresh the field. Melissa will Bar Darkja twice. And then we're going to re-raise Jill because she keeps on dying because she's our sacrificial unit. And we're going to just push the boss's next threshold, another downfall. And once again, if everything goes according to plan, no one should die. We'll find out, I guess. Oh, another fundamental went. That damage over time on fundamental is really messing our plans up. Okay, so technically speaking, she did die. But honestly, because on my turn chart, we're not really doing anything for the next 2 turns. I want to push the next threshold on turn 8 to make the management of phase 2 a lot easier. So even though that she did die, it's not that big a deal because honestly, for the next few turns, we're just guarding anyway. We're literally not even doing anything. So the fact that she died is who cares. Wilhelm is going to cover Siege strategy and Omni cover on this turn. Let's see. Jill. Yeah, we're just waiting till turn 8 now. So we'll just imbue, field, and together, Zahn can deadly. I gotta think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I should deadly next turn. Let me change my turn chart. Yeah, so for this turn, we'll just field. My bad. My bad. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, we'll just field this turn. And Melissa will... What are we on turn 6? Melissa will SLB targeting Wilhelm. That's going to AoE re-raise the party. And heal the party, by the way. As you can see, I'm still working out my turn chart, working out kinks, optimizing it where I can. Apparently Zahn got a damage every time, too. This is not going that well for this attempt. Things are going wrong, but I think that the change they made for Phase 2 will be okay. Yeah, Zahn wasn't supposed to have a damage every time there. Why'd he even have that? What a jerk face. He wasted a stack of his guts. That really sucks. That's messing up the plan. Oh well. So we're going to just guard these guys here. Let's see. Zahn is going to do nothing yet. We are going to Human Killer on Fundamental. We are going to Shared and Curega. Jill is going to just do the Imperil thing, Field, and AoE Amplify cooldown. Zahn will Deadly, Fatal the Killer off of one of the fundamentals, and I guess we can Survival the re-raise off fundamental. You know, this is a problem. This really is a problem that Zahn got that damage every time. He's eating stacks of his guts. We're going to keep going because it might be okay, but this is not going the way I was hoping. Let's hope for the best. I mean, what can I say? Okay, so we're going to now push that next threshold. We're going to overdrive. We don't need overdrive. That's more for the turn after. Now we are going to LB, 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 SLB, SLB, etc. We'll be on turn 8. Yeah, we're going to hit twice with Jill and just refresh the field. And Melissa will triple bar Darkja after we do our damage. And we're going to hope that Zahn doesn't die. And there's the HP lock, by the way. I'm so tempted to restart this fight, but... Well, Zahn re-raised. Okay, so Zahn re-raising means it's actually fine. It's fine. Zahn re-raised. Who cares? That does mean he's going to have less damage this turn. In fact, Zahn will basically deal no damage this turn, almost. Oh well. So we're going to go ahead and just re-imbue Zahn and hit... Whoops. So the boss has mitigation this turn. This is going so off the rails. I'm losing track of my narration and everything. But we're going to keep going, though. This is just not... We're going to re-raise Jill. And we're going to fill LB Gauge with Melissa. Like, I'm using Cam, and Zahn didn't even... Oh, he did get his LB. And we're going to burst again. The boss is going to use Forsaken. Wilhelm's Omni cover has worn off at this point, which is what we want, in fact. But that was supposed to happen. Now, hopefully no one dies here. We should all guts. We did all guts. Perfect. And then we re-raise. Okay. So I think we're actually okay now. So now we're in phase 2. Let's continue. We got dispelled, though. So Wilhelm will cover Siege and Omni cover. Fundamentals will... We want to push the 40% threshold next turn to skip the AoE big attack. So we're going to Hercules, Heavenly, and use their small amplify cooldown, right? Yes. So we want to Hercules, Hypernova, small, amplify, cooldown. Zahn wants to, not yet. We want to shared with you, shared, Curega, and human killer on Zahn. Jill wants to imbue, together, and field. Alright, so Zahn now wants to survival to copy the re-raise, projected, and innervating eclipse. Yeah, we're in the final turns here, and we need to do 45%, which is doable. Like I said, even turns are not super dangerous, except for hyperdrive, which is obviously bad. But trust me, they're a lot worse on odd turns, except for thresholds. That's why this turn we're going to push a threshold. So what we're going to do here, we are going to burst everybody. So burst you. Jill will eat the counters with a hit and a hit, and then Jill will just do whatever. And then we will SLB Melissa targeting Zahn. Okay, so we want to push as close to 30 as we can without going over 30. That's the goal here. Well, it's fine. It's gonna be a little bit close. I was hoping to push like 31, but it's fine. Okay, so here comes some hyperdrives. We need hyperdrive to cooperate for this next few phases. All right, so we're gonna lose Wilhelm, by the way, but that's okay. It was planned because he has the highest defense. Okay, so turn 12. Now we're getting ready for the final stretch. So we are going to do all the damage we can. We are going to, let's see here, mitigation. We're going to use, big amplify and then omni cover. Fundamentals, we'll do, let's see here, where is it? All right, we're going to do both their big burst skills, and then the last skill doesn't really matter, honestly. What is glacial? Because whatever. Glacial, big burst skills. Jill will in Blazega, field, and together. I'm just thinking real quick. Yeah, we want to do it that way. We want an AoE re-raise. No. Do we need AoE? I think G also has re-raise. Yeah, we don't actually need AoE re-raise. So we're going to just I should AoE re-raise now that I think about it. Human killer on Zahn. No, I'm sorry, Wilhelm. And then shared immunity. Let's see. And Zahn will innervating, deadly, and we'll just do midnight hour to refill his LB gauge. Okay, so we're gonna start pushing as hard as we can for the next few turns. We're gonna push that final threshold at 30%. Okay. Let's see if we can finish this boss in the next few turns. So we're going to start off with an overdrive from Wilhelm. This is actually going not as good as I was wanting. I'm a little frazzled right now. We'll hit the boss 2 times for the counters, and we're going to use AoE 100% amplify. Then, of course, we burst. The reason for the amp is for the follow-up turn, not this turn. And then, yes. Go ahead and push as hard as we can into the next phase. Not bad. Melissa will now do seconds of support on Wilhelm to refill his LB gauge. We'll just put a human killer on fundamental, and we'll just Curega so that no one dies. Because the rest of the party will get their SLB for LB fills for free. Okay, the boss is going to gain mitigation this turn, but we can still hurt him. Okay, he's going to gain mitigation, not a big deal. We've still got 100% ice amp from the other girl. Let's hit twice and field. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and burst again. The boss does have mitigation and is not going to do that much. Spar Darkture 3 times. And the boss should be around 5 to 6%. 5%, that's fine. And now he's going to do Dancing Mad and kill everyone, but we're going to hopefully re-raise afterwards. Oh, Jill. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. So this should, in theory, be a win here. We did die and lose all our buffs and all. So what we need to do here, Melissa is going to fill the LB gauge with Bar Darkja twice, and we're going to give Human Killer to Zahn. Jill will re-imbue the party. We will do Together for the stat buff, and then Hailstorm for a speck of damage, whatever. Zahn, honestly, will just Projected Mirror to share that buff to the rest of the party. Wilhelm's going to normal attack to get rid of the boss's defense buff, and we'll LB these two. And that should, in theory, be the kill. So, there we go. Fingers crossed. Boom! 15 turns. Okay, so that was messy and it feels bad because I did like 4 attempts previous tweaking my turn chart. I got everything nice and lined up, and then we had really bad luck on those hyperdrives. Hey, it worked. Who cares? So there it is. There's a very tight clear. So I kind of wasted 2 turns on 6 and 7 where I just like guard to adjust the turns to make phase 2 a little bit easier. I don't know if that was the right call or not, but I don't know. It worked. What can I say? As far as the gear goes, and again, I want to say a big shout out to Wanderer for giving the idea of using camouflage. It does seem to be pretty helpful here. For your primary units. Just don't overload your party with it. I tried that earlier and it made things not work, but putting it on a few units, I'll show you in a second. Anyway, Melissa is our passive provoker with full evasion. And we gave her things like Tome of Lakshmi and Tranquil Healing to boost the power of her healing because they boost the modifier of heals. That's how she was healing for like 45,000 damage per cast. A lot of stacks of Guts, Chocobo Feather, Awerbra's Boon, Passive Provoke, full evasion by 100% because of this item right here, status immunity, and then a just, spirit card, so she heals more. Jill is our sacrificial lamb. As many guts as we can fit, so Chocobo Feather, Lucid Lenses, Awerbra's Boon, Earth Dwells the Heart. That was enough. We gave her this just for mana. You don't need that, honestly. It's just for mana. The weapon didn't matter. Status immunity, and then just a whatever card. Honestly, she's literally here for ice support and soaking those counterattacks and gutsing as much as she can. Zahn, geared for damage. 3 sources of guts for Chocobo Feather, Awerbra's Boon, Earth Dwells the Heart, some LB refill with Guardian's Light, as much HP and Spirit as you can reasonably fit, so like Tiger's Mask, all that kind of fun stuff. His own card, maxed out Human Killer. Wilhelm is doing like a mixture spirit tanking DPS build, kind of. Using a pure tank card, so no attack power here. His damage is very much suffering, but we kind of needed it. Savior's Armor, the Celestite Crown for the 200% HP. It really helps out on gearing here. Chain Cap, Tiger Mask, Escape Artist, another stack of guts with Orber's Boon, Mermaid, Everlasting Fortune. As you can see here, he's in full evasion as well. And there you go. There's his stats for tanking. 101,000 HP, 7,300 Spirit, and then 21,000 attack power. And we are still using his two-handed spear, so there you go. And there's the enchantments I put on it. Anyway, he tanked for us and did some damage. Fundamental forces are... This was what I went ahead and crafted. This one, thanks to Resonant for giving me the idea. I forgot this even existed. But the Ninja's Chainmail has this passive on it of negative 100% chance to be targeted. So if you don't want to craft the Chainmail, you can give Raven's Cloak, which is also 100% chance in one item. You really want 100% from a single item if you can get it. And the Raven's Cloak is a terrible item. It has no stats on it. But the Ninja's Chainmail is still pretty good. So I went ahead and crafted this. Other than that, damage, a little bit of bulk, etc. There you go. Lots of guts. So Earth Dwells the Heart, a Werber's Boon. Just 2 extra stacks on her. And then a good card. And then here is the Friend, geared mostly identical. Double stack of guts, etc. A really good card. All the kind of fun stuff. And there we go. I should have swapped out my fundamental to the Clash Ring. I didn't even think of that. Would have been more damage. Oh, actually, never mind. My Wilhelm was wearing it. Because he actually needed it for the chain cap. Anyway, yeah. That was our all mission clear. And we can see damage breakdown right there. You know, pretty good. Mine had a slightly better card, so, you know, whatever. Wilhelm, geared for tanking. You know, when I say in videos that people like Wilhelm cannot realistically gear for tanking and full damage at the same time, proof right here. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, there it is. Now, as far as the tickets, I usually would just grab these and use them instantly. But tomorrow, Crimson Rain goes into the pool, so I'll wait till tomorrow to do them. So, I have now perfect scored Chaotic Darkness and Kefka. I do need to go back to Vlad and X-Death and get the 15 turn clear. With Wilhelm, should be doable. I'll work on that on the next day or so. Anyway, see you then. Oh, and by the way, I'll post my turn chart in the comments. It's pretty rough. I didn't follow it step by step. I kind of like, you know, adjusted on the fly. But I'll post it in the comments if you really want to see it. Maybe it'll help. Anyway, see you in a bit.